Hey everyone, Dylan here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the forgotten first true 3D Pokemon game. You know, a lot of people might think, X and Y, Pokemon X and Y were the first 3D games and all that in Pokemon, or people always were like, man, I wish they would make a Pokemon game for the main consoles. And poor Pokemon Colosseum is over there in the corner like, they did. I exist. I was for the GameCube. On top of that, they made a sequel to it, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. So they made two 3D Pokemon games for a main console, on the GameCube way before X and Y, like in 2004. And yeah, so it's just like, it's forgotten. So I just want to talk about Pokemon Colosseum. I'm not going to talk about Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. I may later on in a different video, but I just want to talk about Pokemon Colosseum because it was, from my knowledge, the first 3D Pokemon game. And it was the first, it was different from the main games. It wasn't about, let's beat the 8 gym badge, like 8 gyms, and get the 8 gym badges, and then take on the Elite Four. There is kind of an Elite Four in the game, like, so to speak. So, I mean, that's kind of the same, but there's no gym badges. There's none of that. And it was actually just a story-based Pokemon game. Now, there are some things that are bad about it, because everything in the game is double battles, so that can make things really slow, and it's chocked full of it's full of like a bunch of battles. Maybe a little too much, but it was the first 3D Pokemon game, and with probably the best Pokemon protagonist that we have gotten in a game, Wes. He is this cool, I think he's like 17 years old, which is like the oldest we've gotten for a protagonist, which not only does he look cool with his spiked hair and like his clothes, he looks cool, he's older. It's like, this is everything we probably wanted. We got tired of getting the 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 14-year-old kid in the Pokemon games. Now we actually get someone who's almost an adult, and he looks cool. And it was just really cool to see, especially in the first 3D Pokemon game. Yeah, there were, issues with it, but otherwise it was really cool. And then the areas you could go to, there was of course no wild Pokemon encounters, but the main cool draw of the game was you stealing other people's Pokemon. I don't know if I can if I should try to hold back from spoiling stuff about the game. This is really starting to sound more like a review, but I'm not trying to make it a review about Pokemon Colosseum. I just want to talk about it and bring attention to it. I don't know, because like I said, Pokemon X and Y were not the first 3D Pokemon games. They were, of course, Pokemon, Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, which of course I have never played personally, or the new one that came out. What was it? My brain. Pokemon Sword and Shield. I of course have never played that, and I never will, assuming they find a cure for blindness. But those games were on the Switch, and so they might think that, well, that's the first console game, first Pokemon console game, but it's not. I don't know how many people have actually had a GameCube and stuff. From what I remember, apparently it wasn't that popular when it first came out. But I liked it, and I have a really fond, not fond, but a memory of playing Pokemon Colosseum with a rented GameCube. And yeah, there was a rented GameCube my dad got me for my birthday, and then I played the game. I do remember the disc having issues, and it not being able to read the disc and stuff. I remember issues like that, but being able to play a game like that when I had grew up playing all the first couple of Pokemon games on the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, and then going to that, it was just so huge. It was just a big change, going from these pixels to actual 3D moving characters and a protagonist that's not 10, with a darker story as well. like, I mean, I guess you could say that, I guess, you know, cutting off Slowpoke tails is pretty dark, which, I mean, it is. But still, it was a nice change. I might be rambling on about this, but I just wanted to really talk about Pokemon Colosseum, but not have it be a review. I probably will review it from my memories, I guess, but today is not the day. I'm not ready to review it. I have to sit down and think about it more and get in depth about it, you know? Really put some thought into it. Because even though, like, videos aren't scripted, I do kind of think about what I want to talk about, how I want to go about it. Might look things up to refresh my memory. I do try to put a little more effort into the videos sometimes. And so I want to, like, have my mind a little more refreshed and better. Like when I do a review of Pokemon Colosseum. But it was just a cool game. I actually still own it well, I have a copy actually of it still to this day. It wasn't my first copy. I ended up getting a GameCube later on. I bought another GameCube because my parents like sold our old one. But I bought another GameCube and I bought that game as well with a couple others. And so I do still have it and it's great. It's not perfect, mind you, but for the first 3D Pokemon game that we got on a main console, it was pretty cool. And it being 2020 now, you know, it being like, you know, like 16 years or more. I don't exactly remember when it exactly came out, like maybe 2003, 2004, somewhere around there. But it's been like a long time, like 15 years plus. So, like, in case people don't think about it, or, you know, they haven't seen it before, or maybe people forgot about it, I just want to, like, bring attention back to it. I know, like, my video's not gonna do much because I don't have a big audience or anything like that. But, you know, it's still good to bring up. I don't know, I just really wanted to talk about it because it's been on my mind. You know, with like Pokemon Sword and Shield and all that. So maybe this video isn't interesting, maybe I've rambled. That's what I do. Blind guy talks. You know. But so if you have bared with me, I apologize. I apologize for this bad video. But, you know, thank you for listening to me ramble and rant about Pokemon Colosseum, the true first main 3D Pokemon game series, also with a protagonist that is older. Not quite an adult, but it's still, you know, cool. But yeah, so that's just my little thoughts. I'll probably review it and give more detail about the game at some point. I have to decide whether I want to not spoil stuff or whatever. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching and thank you guys for listening. I will see you in the next video.